Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, 4 minutes late. I was trying to make it for 5:30 Central Time, but I couldn't make it. All right, gloomy outside. I thought I was got the grass, mow the lawn today, but it's not looking too good. I have two 40% alcohol Irish blended whiskeys. Now, the radar is not showing any rain, but I have no intention of cutting wet grass. Can't stand to do that. Okay, well, we'll see. Got hours to worry about that. Okay, so this is Bushmills Black Bush. It's one of their basic models. Been on the market since 1980. Says 1608. Well, yeah, that's when there was a distillery founded there in Northern Ireland, but actually the Bushmills didn't come out till the 1780s, but yeah. This is a triple distilled Irish blended whiskey, and it's aged for 8 years. It doesn't say that on the bottle, but it says it on the website. The bottle just says imported, showing the distillery in the background. Mature to perfection in sherry casks. See, so they're giving you like half information. The website says aged in ex-bourbon and ex-oloroso sherry casks for 8 years. And it's 20% grain whiskey, and it's 80% single malt. You see, it's flipped. They flipped the ratio. Most of your blended whiskeys will be like 80% grain spirits in the United States, even allowing unaged grain spirits. But in Ireland, it has to be aged. But they flipped it. They made 80% of this single malt whiskey, which is definitely a different way to do it. Jason Cleveland, good morning, Jay. I am listening as I'm driving to the airport to fly to socialist San Francisco. Okay, thanks for listening. Here's Michael Collins. Double distilled, no age statement, produced at the Cooley Distillery for Sidney Frank Company. Now, Sidney Frank died. His family's, there is no more Sidney Frank Company. They sold the Grey Goose brand to some other big company, and they sold Michael Collins to the Sazerac Company. If you look on the Sazerac.com website, they do show a Michael Collins, but it's called Michael Collins The Prediction, and it's triple distilled. So I don't know if they still make this. I assume, well, I don't, when it comes to Sazerac, you can't assume too much, but I'm saying on the notes, possibly discontinued. And there's definitely no website for this one. Okay, so that's all I can tell you. I paid $23.99. The Bushmills Black was like $30.99. Now, I don't know what it's selling for today. We could look that up, I guess. But let's do a screen share. Well, let's pour it. I'm going to pour it, and then we'll move on to the screen share part. But they have bottles of this Michael Collins still on the shelf over there at International Market. Now, Black Bush uses a real cork. A lot of, the regular Bushmill is just a twist cap, aluminum twist cap. This using real cork, you see. This is from Northern Ireland, which is still part of the United Kingdom, so it's a British territory. People might ask me, what do you think about that? I don't think about that. I don't have any horse in the race. That's the structure that's been in place for 102 years. So, well, it'll be 102 years in December. So I don't take sides in issues that don't involve me. You understand? It's not. I don't find it appropriate to interfere in other countries' internal affairs, Ireland versus England, and all of that historical commotion. You see, other people do. they'll say, well, my family has Irish heritage, and well, mine does too, and English, and but I just don't get into it. Now I like to talk about history, study it, learn about it, but to say take sides in it, generally I don't think that's a good idea. All right. But do whatever you want to do, I guess. Let's see. So here's the site for Black Bush. Nice looking website. So, now they have changed the label since I bought mine, but that's nothing new because they have a tendency to keep changing the label. Since I bought this bottle, it's changed twice. Bushmills Black Bush combines an exceptionally high amount of malt whiskey married with a lighter grain whiskey, matured in former Oloroso, sherry, and bourbon casks. It's best enjoyed neat, over ice, or in classic cocktails. Best, as opposed to what else is there, right? You either got neat, right, with nothing added at room temperature, over ice, or in a cocktail. There's no fourth choice, really. So they're saying it's best any way you want to have it without saying it that way. It's complicated. They're just showing a guy pour rocks glass, neat. They say it's going to have flavor cherry, peaches, nuts, and amazingly spicy. I tend to not pick up all that companies talk about. I'll pick up maybe some, but again, I'm not a expert of any sort, and I'm not a certified taster, so I probably don't have ability. Coloring, they spell it the Canadian European way, coloring. So there's that refrigerator. Okay. Find near you. Now, I think their locator tool is pretty accurate. For Bushmills Black Bush, a locator tool probably would area because more or less sold wherever you can find liquor. It's a common, Bushmills white, the original, the white label, and Bushmills Black. You're going to more or less see that everywhere. Now, the Red Bush, maybe. Walmart still has some, although it's not listed anymore on their website. I think it's been discontinued. Know about Total Wine and More. Wow, $39.99, and I paid $30.99, so the price has really jumped. Yikes! Well, and it may go even higher coming up. The regular Bushmills is a lot cheaper, $14 cheaper, but it's not as good either. But that's just the Prohibition, 27. So it's $2 more than the regular Bushmills. Let's see what else they have. See, they've got products going up to $159.99, 16-year single malt. Woof. Single malt 21 years, $339.99. See what I mean? You can really start putting yourself into some serious money. The single malt Irish whiskey 25-year is $1,099.99, and the 30-year is $2,449.99. So there you go. I mean, you can go from $20.99 starting off to close to $2,500, and that's all in the same store. So woo, yes indeed. I don't think you'll be seeing that on my internet broadcasts, or whatever you call them, recordings, live or recorded. Well, the appearance, they're both amber gold, so that won't matter. I won't have to close my eyes. Put on the bigger lamp. Irish whiskey, what's my opinion of it? My opinion is I like it. I think it tastes good. People say it's bland or whatever. My experience so far has not been that it's bland. It's mild. I don't think mild necessarily translates to bland, but I guess in some people's taste tasting, not their eyes, but you know what I mean. No, I mean, it's bland, whatever. Okay. People often ask me, what's my favorite type of whiskey? Well, that's a difficult question. I guess maybe Scotch whiskey, the Isla Smoky, but that's hard to say really. But I guess it might be. It's like to ask me about beer. What's your favorite type of beer? I guess it could be stouts, but I wouldn't want to drink that every day. So it's all just, it's kind of like saying, what's your favorite food? Well, you pick something, but you wouldn't want to constantly eat it because then you will start hating it. You know, you get sick of it. So sometimes those kind of questions have no real world application. They're just almost like unanswerable, I guess we could say. Okay. And a lot of people do those rankings, you know, they'll rank a beer. And I never watched those videos because it just, I'm thinking, I don't get anything out of it. I don't understand them even. I don't even understand the video. Okay. I just like to look at things on their own. Say, here it is. How does it compare in taste challenges? To go back and make some categorical ranking and all of this. I just don't do it. But I'm not against people doing it. I'm not against people playing tennis, but I don't watch it. I watch football, but I don't watch tennis matches. Not against it. Don't find it bad. I just don't find it interesting. All right. I've tasted it and I didn't even smell it. Yeah, not a whole lot going on aroma anyway. It tastes pretty good though. Whatever I tasted just now did seem to have a sherry note. A kind of a bold flavor. Bold. Yes. Now I'm thinking the Black Bush should have a lot of bread because it's 80% single malt barley. You can make barley bread, but you know, most of the bread you buy at the stove at the store is white bread, but oh man. Woo! That's a much different flavor. Here's the thing. They both have a bold flavor. So they're not your typical Irish whiskey because the flavor is very pronounced. So you would not confuse either one of these with your standard Bushmills original, the white label, which is still their most popular one because people like the mild products, as we all know. Beer, wine, liquor. That's the mass market, frankly. All right. See if I can figure this out. This one in my left hand is very oaky. You say, is it Marsala? Oloroso sherry oak, or is it bourbon oak? I don't know. Can't say, but it's oaky. It's oak. I can taste the oak barrel. And that's making me think it's the Black Bush because now we're talking about 8 years in oak. Maybe, 7 years in ex-bourbon and a year in sherry. I don't know how they set that up. They don't go into that kind of detail, but or is it part of it? Is it part of the whiskey in the sherry and part in the bourbon? They don't tell you. Wesley Estheimer says any caramel note on it. I don't think so. These are difficult. I'm not going to pretend like, oh yeah, I know these. I got this down. These flavors, I got them down. No. Do they have a sweetness? Yeah, yes and no. In a general sense, yes, but not as sweet as most of your regular whiskeys. Most of these regular old whiskeys will be sweet, sweet, sweet. They will be so sugary sweet. Now you might say, yeah, but they don't really have sugar in them. the sugar all converted into alcohol. So it's a misunderstanding of the flavor. You're tasting sweet, but it's not the sugar. Okay, but that's what I'm tasting. You see, they don't contain orange peel in them either, but they don't contain spices, right? They don't contain uh, star anise. But then you read the tasting notes from the distillery, they give you all of those on many of these. So you can't use that argument against me because they're using that argument to promote their product, that it has these flavors, even though it only contains grain. That's it, grain. Now, okay, could they have caramel color added to darken them? Yeah, they could have that, but that's a flavorless thing. That's that industrial caramel coloring. You say, well, caramel is sugar browned in a pan. Okay, yes, but it's designed to be an odorless, flavorless thing. It's just to add color. It's like I said, an industrial product. Food industry, of course, food and beverage industry. Supposedly the most commonly used coloring in food, caramel coloring. All right. Over here, I know this video might be laughable, like, well, one is only double distilled, one's triple distilled, one is 3 years old, one is something years old, something. I don't know the age. Maybe Michael Collins is 8. I don't know. I would doubt it, but you work with the information you have, which in this case is minimal. Michael Collins. I know it's made at Cooley Distillery. I know it's double distilled. Beyond that, I don't know anything. Well, I know it's 40% alcohol. They don't give any details on the bottle. They just give terms like it's fabulous, it tastes great, stuff like that. It doesn't give you any kind of specifics, any kind of useful specifics. Now, which one has a better flavor? Okay. Remember, we're talking about a $16 difference. $16 per 750 milliliter bottle. At the time of my purchase, it would have been only a $7 difference, but things have changed with Black Bush. These are remarkably similar in flavor. Got me confused. First one I've had in this challenge series has really got me disoriented. People will say disorientated, but the word is not disorientated or orientated. It's oriented and disoriented. You say orient, that's like heading east, toward the east. Well, yeah, that's the root. But disoriented means you're off track. Like you were heading east, but now it's got you disoriented, like you're off the track. You're off the path that you were trying to be on. In my case, tasting the two and telling them apart. Okay, so the first one, very possibly Black Bush. The second one, actually, that last little sip there left some aftertaste of oak, heavy oak, and I think maybe some sherry. Well, you say what common meaning less expensive. What common, because Michael Collins isn't really common as far as availability, would come up against Black Bush and really be able to compete? I would say Michael Collins. It's the one I've had that's really able to step up and give it a run for the money. So before I even guess, I have to guess now because there's none left. I'm not going to start pouring more no, that's kind of like cheating in a way. You say, no, it's like going into overtime in a football game, extra time. Yeah, that's true. But clearly the Michael Collins is a better value because you're getting an equally interesting and good flavor, right? It's interesting and it's good. It's no better. It's not better, but it's certainly not worse. But you're saving the $16. So I would say save the $16. You say, well, it's just the same where I live. You know, I live in Nevada and I got a liquor store and they got Michael Collins for the same price differential as Black Bush. $16, except it's different prices. The Michael Collins where I live is $20 and the Bushmills Black Bush 36. Okay, still $16. So save my recommendation, save the $16 and get the Michael Collins. Okay, that's just the way I see it. So I would give the win to Michael Collins. But so is it an upset? I think it is because I wasn't expecting it to be this close at all. I thought it could be, you know, somewhat close, but not. I didn't believe this would happen. So I'm going to say, I think now that I'm finishing this, is that the Bushmills is the one in my right hand. Just by virtue of that little aftertaste sensation that seemed to harken back to it in the times I've tried it. It is. Oh, whoa. It was something in my mind, you know, like when I tasted it and that last little bit, and I was like, whoa, that wood, you see, because I didn't. And I noticed it in the Michael Collins on the initial tasting, but not at the last end. You know, sometimes the end of the glass will give you some little clues or little notes that you hadn't picked up before. So that's what it was. Well. Still not $16 worth though. Yeah, I noticed it. It caught my attention, but it wasn't $16 worth of attention getting. But anyhow, well, we're going to close it out for Wednesday tomorrow. Now I might do it today, preemptive to Wednesday, but or preemptive for Wednesday. How would you say that? Preemptive to Wednesday or preemptive for Wednesday? Well, anyway, I didn't major in English. I did make straight A's in English when I went to college, though. May not mean much. But anyway, my major was social studies, education, and a master's degree in history. Not, you see, it wasn't liquor tasting, was it? No, I never drank alcohol in college. People would ask me sometimes, you remember back in your college days, what beer did you used to get lit up on when y'all were partying? I said, I didn't do that. Maybe I was a stodgy person or something, but I just had this focus. I said, I gotta go get this degree and I want to focus on it, because in high school I didn't really focus too much. I just casually went to school. I didn't care. I mean, I cared to pass. Not like I failed anything, but to worry about what grades I made, nah. If I made a C, that was fine with me. But Short and Stout Beer Review says, howdy, Ron. Howdy to you down under. Thanks for watching. So when I went to college, I started thinking maybe I should try a little hard. Like, I don't want to say lazy, but in a way, yes. But also in high school, you do a lot of busy work. It's like tedious, So I didn't know what college was going to be like, honestly, but I said, I'll try harder. Let's see what I can do. And I finished with an A average 3.5. So I thought they gave me an award, like a little pin or whatever to wear. So then I went to master's degree and got a 4.0. The lowest grade I made working on a master's degree was an A. So I thought, see what happens when you try a little bit. So, but of course, I was working in my area, history. And when I was in high school, I was good in history. I would go to I win first place every year in the history fair, social studies fair. And so that was fun, and they put me in the yearbook with that little plaque and those little medals. I still have those medals. But even teachers would come to me and say, look this up, because they didn't know the answer. I remember a history teacher coming to me in 12th grade saying, hey, Terrio, I said, why do they call them doughboys? I said, I don't know. And then the other teacher, I was in his class, he said, you're released, go to the library and find out. He said, he'll find out. That's what he told the other teacher. He'll find out. So I went and found out. I said, no one really actually knows. Veterans Day was yesterday. I said, but the theory is that they wore the khaki uniforms, so people call them doughboys. Another theory is that they had dust on their uniforms when they were walking down the dusty road in France, and they call them doughboys. But really, it's one of those kind of things where nobody really knows. And she said, oh, thank you. And that's what she told her students. No one really knows, but etc. Okay. And I would win those social studies fair. My presentation always looked bad, like like my plaque, my backboard with all it looked amateurish, but I would do it myself. My father wasn't gonna help me. He said, you got to do that. But the other kids, their parents would do it. Like a girl had a thing about the White House, and I was like, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way she built that. She's never shown any evidence that she's adept at woodworking. Of course, her boyfriend at the time, he was, and he might have done. But anyway, I knew she didn't do it, and I was like, oh, that's beautiful. But that she won all on visual. Well, actually, I won first place. I did a project on Cambodia, the Cambodia situation, Kampuchea, and the judge. I just started talking. I was talking for like 10 minutes, and the judge was like, okay, all right. I see that you know it. He cut me off, and he moved on. I was like, oh, he didn't even want to hear about it. But then I got first place. But then they didn't want me to go to the fair at the regional because they wanted her to go with her pretty presentation. Plus, her father had connections, to the school board and all that. Big shot in the parish. I could have stonewalled him and said, no, I'm going. But I said, okay. That was the one year I didn't go for that. But I was a little irritated. I said, it shows you how politics is so involved in all of this. It's not what you know. Big deal. You did a project on the White House. But it's who you know. And her daddy, right? Got her. So they let the runner-up go to the they let the runner-up go to the regional because it I thought, this place is crooked. Okay, San Francisco certainly wouldn't be my kind of city, says Short and Stout, thumbs down. I've never tried any Bushmills products, but have certainly seen them about. I would highly recommend them. All of them. Now, all the ones I tried were great, but I would say all of them are good. Michael Collins, chances are you'll never see it, but if you do, boy, by golly, it's a good price. Get it. Don't even hesitate. It's just been the outcome has been amazing that this could go up against every other Irish whiskey I have and never lose. I have one left, the Bushmills Red Bush. Wouldn't that be something if I lost on that one? But let's hope that I finish with a perfect record. So anyway, I don't know where y'all live, if it's like that, where you live, like if you're in a public school system, that's not really the kid that does the best that gets the awards. It's the kid whose parents are connected that gets the award. In fact, that same girl, and I don't harbor any hatred toward her or animosity. She's friendly. We're never, like we're Facebook friends, but we were never friends, I just like know who she is. She knows me. But that's about as far as it goes. She's friendly. But I remember for the graduation ceremony, she won the social studies award for the best student or whatever in social studies. I thought, okay. But then after the ceremony, when we were going out to go home to our little parties at home, I remember my history teacher, 3 different years. He taught me civics, American history, and world history. He said, you got cheated, Terrio. He just came up to me. What do you say? You got robbed. That's what he said. You got robbed. Well, he was mad. He was burnt because, I was like his student that he bragged on all the time. And I guess his jaw dropped when he was like, look at this crooked parish here. That's what he was mad too. You got robbed. Oh, well, I didn't care. I just wanted to get out of there. I didn't like high school just because it was a drag, I remember the first day I got in there, I had my little book bag. And I remember telling my friends it's going to be 4 long years. I don't know why I said that. I just thought it's going to be 4 long years. And it was. but it wasn't like miserable. It's just you want to finish. I just want to get done. I want to be done with this. You say so. That's why you went back and then had a career teaching high school. Okay, good point. All right. Anyway, but I was getting paid to do it that time. So when I was going as a student, I wasn't getting paid. I just had to listen to all of this. All right. Anyway. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, y'all take care and see you soon. And some of these people commenting, I watch your videos and I watched one yesterday and I commented on it and I enjoy them. So y'all take care. Bye-bye.